Greetings, EastEnders fans. Welcome to this week's Albert Square After Dark, your weekly EastEnders podcast, where this week we'll be discussing the episodes that aired between the 3rd to the 6th of November 2025. How are you all? Hope you're enjoying yourselves and EastEnders this week. And joining me is the wonderful, the fabulous Robert. Hello, Rob. How are you?
Hello, Rihanna. How are you this week? Still in Turkey?
I'm still in Turkey, yes, but I've gone indoors.
Yes, because you've got a storm coming, haven't you?
Storms are brewing.
Yes.
Also hoping that the sound quality will be better this week.
Okay,
Not looking at anybody.
So, can we just address something
that
might have occurred last week? All right. So, we had a few accusations last week.
Allegations,
all
accusations.
aimed at Ree, saying that she was pissed, saying that she was on drugs, saying that she was. And we just like to clear up. You were absolutely right. She was absolutely hammered.
I thought I was hiding it really well. But
I know, apparently not. No, yeah. Right. Obviously not. Okay.
Obviously not.
A connection was odd. I didn't even notice this while I was editing.
We didn't notice record. Do you know what's annoying is? I thought I was a technical genius because I brought like
no one's ever accused you of that, Ruth.
I know, right? Clearly. I brought a USB-C adapter to plug in my USB thing to think, and I thought, oh, technical genius here. I brought me. No. Just need to do it on my iPad with my mic.
Makes you sound pissed.
Apparently, I sounded like all sorts. Yeah. There was one comment. I'm sorry. I know you've deleted it. Thanks for that. But also, like, chill out, Jesus.
What I liked was that I was getting told off as well for allowing you to be drunk on the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
I like the idea that
you have over
I like the idea that I'm in charge. Since when is my question? Anyway, but no, I can promise you, Ree was not drunk last week, as far as I'm aware. All right.
If I sound it this week, I can only apologise. Look, I've even swapped for my not going to say the brand name, even though I think I can, in mic earphones.
Yes. So there we are.
Anyway, there we go.
Yeah, so just to clear that up, Ree was not drunk last week, or under any sort of hallucinogenics, or under any sort of narcotics.
I wish that I had the freedom to do that.
Yeah,
I wish that I could have been. And if I had been, we would have just said, wouldn't we?
This is the thing. If either of us were drunk, we would have said and just made a whole thing of it, and then just faced the consequences afterwards, wouldn't we?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, there we are.
Anyhow.
So, on to this week's EastEnders.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show appears to have taken a laxative, and we've got a little bit of movement with some of the storylines.
Yes, we do, finally. Yeah.
Finally. Not with the Zoe stuff. That still sort of plods along as it
Doesn't
is.
It?
Oh, I need to find my son. I need to find my cat. I will pay for her personally to find either one of them, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think that's what stage cat's at, clearly.
Honest to God. But the Harry storyline has moved on, and quite significantly moved on as well. So that's good. That's good. So a few other things to discuss as well. We'll start off with Suki, Eve, and the arrival of Norma. She has a handbag, Ree. She had a handbag. She had a handbag.
Like she was a bit of a northern snob as well. I feel like we both called that pretty well.
What we wanted. Marvellous. So let's start off with that in this week's Albert Square After Dark. So, Norma, Eve's mum, has arrived on the square. Fabulous first line. Let me in before I get mugged. Which, in all fairness, it's Walford. Anything is possible. You could get blown up. You could get murdered. You could get run over. Mugging actually doesn't go on that much in EastEnders, to be fair.
No, it doesn't, does it? Yeah. No. Out of all of the things that she could have said, like before I get set on fire or...
No risk of that, love. No, not at all. What do we think of Norma?
Absolutely love her here for it. Want her back.
I would quite like her back. It does feel as though there's unfinished business by the time she leaves, right? Because, and I quite liked this, the idea that there is quite obviously a lot of resentment there from Norma to Eve about the death of Eve's sister, and that kind of makes sense, especially because the situation that we know how it unfolded. That basically, Eve was with her, and then it all sort of. I think in that situation, you're looking for someone to blame, aren't you? And Norma, basically, Eve's whole family has decided that it's Eve's fault.
Yeah, and I get the impression that prior to them losing Erica, that she was probably the golden child out of the two as well.
Yeah.
So it probably hurts even more. I dare say, was it the other way around? Would Norma have been blaming Erica like she has Eve? I don't know, I just feel like that dynamic was already in place before that happened with Erica.
Absolutely. Do you think Norma's homophobic?
Well, yeah.
There's an element of it.
Yeah, I think she is. I think she's like kind of accepted that her daughter is something that she doesn't approve of there. Does that make
Yeah, I
sense?
think
So
approval is the thing.
yes, she's
It's.
accepting of what Eve is saying that she is,
But
but
she's
she
watched the
doesn't
L Word.
accept what she is, if you know. Oh yeah, she did say, well then she can't be
She
Rob. She's
can't be
watched the L
homophobic.
word.
She's
She
watched the
can't be
L
then if
Word.
she's
She
watched
has watched.
that.
I've not even watched the L Words. Have you watched the L
No,
Word?
I've not watched
You're a
the L word. I don't
homophobe. We're both homophobes. We've not watched the L Word.
snap. We should have got some tips off Norma.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's it. That's it. Liberalism of law of Norma is something we need to learn clearly. So the whole point of Norma's visit is because they're trying to convince Norma to give them a reference
Yeah.
for the adoption that they both wanted to
Of
go
course,
after.
yeah.
And so what happens is they're trying to impress Norma. So their way of doing that is, well, let's take you for breakfast at the cafe because that'll persuade you.
Yeah, and the Albert afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
What's not to? I mean, that reference is as good as written as soon as you've taken them to the Albert, right?
I did. Do you know what I did appreciate though? They also took it to Queen Vic, didn't they? And
Yeah,
I love
20
Norma
quid.
being like 20 quid for a house bottle, and I thought,
Is
oh,
that
you've
not
got a
about
northerner
right?
down south
Do you sell
now.
bottles of wine in your bar?
Yeah, but my bar's ridiculously cheap. You can't go on what
How much for a bottle of white in your
five.
bar? A fiver for a bottle of
Yeah,
wine? Is it piss?
yeah.
Jesus Christ!
No, it's not. It's actual wine.
It's
But
no
yeah, this
wonder
is what
you're
I'm
drunk all the
saying.
time with those prices,
Well, do you
Ree.
know what I mean? Exactly, right? It's on tap. Uh,
Literally. Wow.
No,
Yeah. So
but no,
20
I
quid.
think up north, I think for a bottle of house white in a pub up north, if
Yes.
it's house, you
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
look about
I think
15
it's
quid,
about right.
maybe.
Yeah, I think it's about. And a pub in London for a bottle.
Yeah, actually, when you think of it like
I
that, it's
think
not that bad, is
it's
it?
not that
Yeah.
bad, really. To be fair, is it?
Northerner though, come on.
Yeah, exactly. And she is northern. She's very northern, is
Yeah.
of the Unwund. So it seems to be going all right. Like they venture the subject to her, and Norma at first is a bit like, "You want to have what? A child? What on earth? What do you want to do with one?"
Yeah.
But she seems to kind of be coming around to the idea ever so slightly. But then what happens, as in all families, let's be real here, is resentments sort of bubble to the surface, and Eve and
Hmm.
Norma end up having a blazing row, and Eve sort of
Yeah.
goes off and gets pissed for the night. Frankly, it's a miracle she didn't go to Brighton.
I know, right? I was thinking as well, like, where did she
Yeah,
end up? And she'd ended up on Jean's sofa, didn't she?
yeah.
Okay, fair
Um,
enough.
and so after that, the reference is kind of screwed after that, aren't they? Because the subject of Erica has been brought up, and I think
Mhm.
Eve knows from that point onwards. But it's doomed now. It's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, but very what's the word I'm looking for? Very not manipulative. What's the word where
Come on,
it's
pisshead.
like
Think of the line.
nasty?
Think of
I
the
know,
word.
not too much. Not nasty, but it was vicious. Maybe that she's
Yeah.
gone out of her way, Norma, to then go and find out who she has to give this reference to,
In it.
unless they'd maybe given her the details.
Oh,
But the
this is
fact that she's
amazing.
gone,
Yeah.
yeah, behind their backs to
Yeah,
give them a
because
negative reference is
yeah,
next
Robin shows up again.
level.
Robin shows up
Yeah,
again. We like
yeah,
Robin. I was
yeah. We
pleased to
like
see Robin
Robin.
again.
Yeah.
And Robin's sort of like, yeah, I did receive that reference. Here it is. And yeah, like you say, she's actually gone out of her way to write a
Yeah,
bad reference and send it to the
yeah.
agency. That's really bad.
To essentially ruin a life as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
But do you know what I did think? I'm not going to lie. You know, as soon as they said, "Oh, you need a reference from somebody like before you went to prison," would
yeah.
family? Are you able to get
Well,
one from family anyway?
well, she gets it off Lily. And this is the thing. She sends this terrible reference, this absolutely
Yeah.
caustic, like ruining reference. And Robin's like,
Mm.
but we've decided to let you go through with it anyway. We've
Well,
approved you.
okay. Yeah, really.
So what was the point?
Yeah. And also, like, do they not pay attention to reference? To be fair, though, I think he's like, well, we take into consideration that we've
And
asked you questions, and you
exactly.
just don't get on with your mum.
And I feel like Robin has also gone. And to be fair, I've been here twice now, and I've eaten you out of house and home both times I've been here. So I think I might as well just put you through for the next
Kid's
round.
going to
To
be
be
well
honest.
fed, so I
Exactly,
know that at
exactly.
least.
This kid might go have the most miserable life ever, but they do good chocolate brownies here. So
Hmm.
let's let you have a kid.
Exactly.
So they've been approved, and everyone's
Yeah.
delighted. So what
Hmm.
happens next? Do we think? Are we going to see Norma again? Isn't it? It's the first question.
Surely we can't just have a flying
I
visit
feel
off
like we
him.
should have her again.
Yeah, maybe not for a while though. I don't know. What's the crack with Eve's dad? Do we know anything about him? I
Well,
thought
I
he was
mean,
still alive and
well,
well.
yeah. He didn't turn up. He didn't go for sure. And
Mm.
now you know how Norma is. You kind of think that he just didn't want to see her.
Potentially, or I wondered if or if Norma had just said, "I'm going to go on my own" or something. Because I
Yeah,
feel like we've got Norma being her character, and then I feel like Eve's dad might be a bit more like Eve. Is the what I've got in my head? I could be totally wrong, but I just feel like he might be a bit more Eve. But then I'm wondering, under what circumstance could you bring Norma back now after all of this? So then
I don't know.
will something happen to Eve's dad or something?
Possibly.
And
I
then they
mean,
have to meet up again?
Suki was very, very good all week with Norma. I thought because Suki could
Mm-hmm.
have gone in and sort of done what we know Suki can do, and just
Mm-hmm.
been this sort of really evil bitch to Norma, and she didn't do
Yeah.
any of it. She kind of
No.
held back. She realised what the situation entailed, which is quite Suki
Mm-hmm.
in itself, to be honest with you, isn't it? But she until the last moment where she was sort of like, "This
Yeah.
is not going anywhere. You need to leave." But
And now
even
it's my
then,
time
she
to
was quite
step in.
polite about it, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she didn't try to fight Eve's battle for her either. I think it was
Yeah.
important that she was, rather than her being what you might think Suki would do and just, go in really bullshit.
Yeah.
She took a back step, but let Eve take control, but was supportive of her.
It is pointless to not say that there are huge similarities between Norma and Suki, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Like,
it
even
was
outside of the
expected though,
handbag.
wasn't it? Yeah, with the
Yeah,
handbag.
but
Yeah,
even outside of the handbag, you can imagine this is exactly how Suki treated Ash before she sort of came to terms with her own sexuality. So there
that's
is a
very
lot
true.
that I think Suki could relate to with Norma. I
Yeah,
feel like she probably looks at Norma as actually a fairly good mum, because look at the things that Suki's done to her kids in the past, and you don't feel like Norma would do any of that. Norma wouldn't be sending anyone to prison, so I
isn't that
think
what
that's.
happened? I don't
Mm,
know.
oh well, yeah, but
I
for
know what you
some,
mean. Right,
yeah,
not falsely. What
yeah,
you would deem as
yeah,
falsely. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't think of the parallels there, actually.
There
Maybe
are,
that's how maybe that is where they'll make up then. Maybe it'll be Suki, it'll be the glue who'll go,
yeah.
well, I see your point of view. I thought like this, but part of me also thinks you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's the same for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah, I would like to
Mm,
see Norma again. I feel like there's definitely unfinished business there, and
definitely.
there's a lot I think that Eve needs to address. And I feel like she also needs to see that Eve has massively changed since then as well, because we know that she's a really good family woman. She's very motherly. She'll be great at this.
Yeah, but I don't think Norma would want to see that anyway, even if it was that, it were really in her face how apparent that
Mm,
was, more so
yeah,
than what it has been when she's come down. I still think that she'd be like, well, it won't last, or well, it's not true, is it?
yeah,
But, sorry, something I've just remembered. Remember Nish, didn't he have Eve's parents? Who was it he had attacked?
yeah. He had it was it the
Was
dad?
it
I
a
think he had.
mum?
I think it was.
Was
I
it
thought
the
it was the
dad?
dad. It was the dad. I think he had
I
attacked.
thought it
Yeah,
was a mum I had in my head. I wonder if that'll get brought up. I wonder if
maybe,
they found out that it was Nish who'd done it, and then
maybe
that might bring something else for him to
could be,
feud over.
could
Or
be. So that's Norma. In terms of the actual adoption, that's now going to move
mm,
forward. So they kind of sort of turned down the idea that they were going to have a baby this week, didn't they?
yeah.
So this suggests that we're going to have some sort of troublesome teen show up, doesn't it?
See, I was thinking it'd be more like the girl that we saw before. What was she called? I can't,
Okay, come on,
Fifi or something.
Fifi.
Fifi. It was something like that. I'm sure that were her name.
Oh,
When they met that other couple. Yeah, no.
yeah, 3 bottles in now. Yeah,
I'm
go on.
just gonna say.
Um, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What, this is like really pretentious kid? Yeah, it's not going to be that. I don't think. I
No,
feel
but I
like.
mean that age rather than
Yeah.
as
Oh,
old
yeah,
as you
yeah.
were. I don't think they'll get a teen. I
No.
think they're just saying it's unlikely we're going to get a baby. And
Mm,
we don't necessarily want a baby when there are children out there who need a
yeah.
home. And we don't necessarily need to feel like we want to start from scratch, in
Yeah.
inverted commas, like with a baby. So
It's going to be
interesting to
some.
see if it goes ahead. Do you feel like it is fully all going to happen now then?
I feel like it will do now, and I feel like what's going to happen is that our next sort of young, kind of long-term, messy teen character is
Interesting.
on the way. I think this is how they are going to arrive. So it's either going to
Okay.
be some sort of new girl that would have fitted in quite well in the Slaters in the noughties,
Mm.
or it's going to be someone like Oscar, or someone
Yeah.
like it's going to be some sort of messy kid that shows up, and they've got to sort of try and put them back on the tracks again.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I just wonder
Yeah.
how long the entire process will take, but we shall see.
We shall see. Right, ladies and gents, let's move on to the next story. Okay, on to the Slaters. I tell a lie. We did have some movement with this week. We found the cat.
Oh yeah, we found it again, didn't
Found
we?
the
God,
cat.
can't keep up with this cat.
I mean, what is the so? the cat was like in the carrier under Zoe's bed. So
Yeah.
what is going on here, Ree? Is she do? I feel like the way that it was framed this week is that somebody is after her.
I
Okay,
think
like,
that somebody's after her. I fully believe that it's somebody after her.
but it was complicated by the fact that she did the pictures herself.
Yeah, but I think that she did do that because she felt like no one would believe in her and she wanted to be like, look, will you listen to me now? Look, this has happened. But then it obviously ended up backfiring. But then a part of me thinks, or is it because why is Kat suddenly believing her? Because then I'm like, well, if Kat believes her, then surely it's not Zoe. Then
That's
it
all that
is Zoe.
matters.
And
It's surely all that matters is that Kat believes her, right? Because Kat
well,
is
you'd think.
the one that is her sort of one support column throughout all of this. She's the one that's kind of handing money over so that they can get this bloody PI. This PI, by the way, who at first was saying, right, if you want any more information, I've got information, but you're going to have to hand over some money first because this is a business.
Mm.
So they hand over 3 grand, and literally the only information they give her is, well, there is jigsaws. I can put you in touch with somebody who used to know them, but that's about it. I'd
Who
be
once
livid.
fostered him.
I'd
So
be
would I. I'd be like, give
fuming.
me a refund.
Too right.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. But then is it that she's got this contact and that she thinks this contact will lead her somewhere? Because if so, then like shouldn't she start doing that anyway? I won't be able to be a PI. I was thinking that this week. I won't be able to be like, oh well,
I
I
miss that
found
other.
this information that's really important to you, but I want 3 grand. I couldn't
I
do
miss.
that to someone.
I miss that other private detective. The one that used to hide in
Gabriel,
bushes. Yeah, I miss Gabriel. He used to hide in
Angel
bushes and was
Gabriel.
was like was like secret squirrel. Liked him. He should bring him back.
And I bet he didn't charge as much,
No, I
seeing as
bet he
though Anna
didn't.
managed to hire him.
He was good on information, wasn't he?
Very.
So, what? What?
With the
What?
Zoe thing.
Yeah.
So the only, I mean, they've been making Anthony look rather shifty this week, but then it's
Well, haven't they
almost
just?
like too obviously
Well,
shifty.
let's talk about Anthony because we did get some movement with that this week. Is that
Oh
he
yeah.
had one of these mysterious phone calls in the calf and was saying.
Mm.
Now that all seemed to be related towards more leading towards Patrick more than anything else, didn't it? Because he was saying, "No, of course I haven't told Dad. He can't know everything that's going on," and that immediately
Mm.
put in my head, "What? Paul's alive
Paul's
then?"
alive.
Yeah,
Same. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was talking to Paul himself.
yeah.
But did we see
Which
Paul's body on screen?
we didn't. Now they did that. I think, as far as I
Ah.
think, what happened is that Patrick apparently went away and identified him, but we didn't see that happen. I don't think.
But how would Patrick
And in
misidentify
fairness,
him?
as we always say, Ian apparently went and identified Kathy, so that doesn't mean anything either.
Okay, true. But of all
So
the people, of all of the other people that you could bring back from the dead, Paul,
who's
is that where?
connected to Anthony in any way? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what else could it
yeah,
be? Patrick Anthony is this sort of upstanding, normal sort of bloke who is a doctor, and so he's
yeah.
not exactly going to be mixed in with the underworld or anything like that. But his brother would. So
Well, this is the only other thing I'm thinking is it that Anthony's in some? Is it Anthony or Anthony? Anthony? Anthony.
same thing in it.
Potato, potato.
Anthony, yeah, exactly.
Is he in some debt or something? And he's trying to get some money from Patrick,
Well,
maybe. But then what would he be in debt for? Like he's a
well,
doctor, don't they have
it
money? I
feels
don't
like
know.
there's stuff that we don't know about his family and what's going on with
Yeah,
there. So his wife
yeah,
Sophie, I think she's called, isn't she? And then
yes.
there's stuff going on with her kids. So
Mm,
he's managed to get himself a job in Walford. So it looks like
yeah,
Anthony is staying around.
yeah.
So, but then is any of this connected to the Zoe stuff? It feels like it must be. But
Yeah,
then,
that's what I wondered. Is it that actually, yeah, Anthony does know about the Zoe? I don't
mm,
know, but then why would he have any vendetta against Zoe
exactly, why
anyway?
would
Unless
he?
it was his kid,
Yeah,
but it's not, is it? Because she would have just told him by now,
I feel
surely.
like it's not Anthony's kid because I feel like
Yeah.
no matter how many lies Zoe has told, it feels like the way when she turned around and said it's not your kid, it
Mm.
felt true. I believed her
Yeah.
when she said that. So that means that whatever Anthony's involved with it isn't anything to do with the missing children.
Mm.
So
There was some kind of line this week, and forgive me because I can't remember the
well,
exact
that's because you're
line that
four
it
bottled
was.
in now, Ree.
Well,
So
exactly right. It's hard to
yeah,
remember
it's
things.
hard to remember.
And he said something along the lines of like, oh, because some things from the past are hard to let go. It was something along those lines, which made me think the implication was that he's never quite let go of Zoe. So
Mm,
then we're supposed to think that it's definitely Anthony doing all of this. It
yeah.
would be the most logical explanation at this point, I think, because although past Anthony, we wouldn't have assumed his character would be like that. We don't actually
Mm,
know him anymore, really.
not
Like he could
really.
have changed and it could be an
I
act of
don't know.
some kind of desperation from him. I don't know.
There's a part of me that wonders if he's even still a doctor.
Yeah, fair. But then how would he apply for
We don't know
the
what the job
GP
is, though.
surgery?
We didn't. We
That's
don't know
true.
that it's a GP surgery. We said last week, if Anthony's going to stay around, then at least he's got a GP surgery he can go work in. But he didn't say anything about what this job that he's got actually is.
Oh,
So,
I thought he'd said I've
no,
applied
we
for
said
the.
that.
All right. Oh, well, 4 bottles in, Rob. What can I
Well,
say? I do
exactly. How would you know?
apologise.
So, if it's not
Oh, yeah.
Anthony that's doing all
Mm,
of this, then who
mm.
the hell is it?
Well, I've seen a few people saying Max, but I don't think Max would go out of his way to do this. Like, surely someone else would have
No,
seen him on Square as
it's
well
not.
by now,
It's
right?
not
If it were
Max's
Max.
style, really, is
I
it?
don't think it is either. I don't
Now,
think
there's
it's
also
Max's
sort of
style.
talk that it could be Sam, someone like that. That's sort of,
Yeah. I
but
could see Sam doing it, but again, once someone has
yeah.
spotted her by now.
But then I can more see
Oh,
Sam paying someone to do it rather than her
yeah.
doing it herself.
I did see somebody say Lily,
Maybe.
but has Lily got enough? Mind you, actually, when you think about how upset Jean's
Yeah.
been, would Lily do it on behalf of Jean?
Or Zach, because he does work in the Vic. It'd be easy for him to do it too on behalf of Vicky.
Oh, well, Vicky's another one, really, isn't
Mm.
she? Another suspect potentially
I
because
don't feel like no
she's.
Vicky. I don't feel like it's Vicky's stuff. Vicky would much rather just go up and punch her in the face. It's not
I
Vicky.
I agree. I don't think Vicky would do that. I don't. Even though they have this rivalry, Zoe and Vicky. Even when Zoe found out about what happened to Vicky, she was very like.
Yeah.
Even though she tried beating her up herself week before,
Yeah.
Zoe was still like, "Oh, it's really nasty what happened to Vicky." And so I feel like
Yeah.
Vicky would potentially be the same about Zoe with
Yeah.
something this serious.
Yeah.
If it's something that's potentially messing with her mental health,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Yeah.
think that. I think Vicky's got other things on her
Yeah,
mind
she's
as
got
well
other thing
to
going.
have this little
Yeah,
vendetta.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's got other things going on, hasn't she? So yeah, there we go. Basic, and Kat's also kind of bringing Anthony in because I think she actually more believes Anthony's version of events that Zoe's having some sort of mental breakdown, doesn't she? Which I can
Yeah.
understand, in all honesty, because she's causing us to have a nervous breakdown with the way that the storyline's going at the minute. So
But then at the same time, when Anthony's seeing Zoe, he's not treating her like that. He's treating her like she's quite of sane mind, if you know what I mean. So then to kind of be behind her back saying that to Kat
yeah,
doesn't really add up to what he's actually saying to Zoe. It's almost quite
he
backstabbing, really, of him to be doing it. Two-faced, I
yeah
guess.
he is up there on the suspect list.
Mm.
But I don't know whether I quite believe it. I don't feel like it's as cut and dry as it's Anthony doing
Jasmine?
it.
If we think Jasmine is somehow.
Yeah, well, Jasmine's all. I mean, Jasmine didn't feature this week, but she is also sort of a mysterious figure that's sort of
Mm.
around. But then the thing is, if it's not Anthony, then who's the dad? Then that's sort of we sort of don't figure that it's got anything to do with
Yeah,
Jasmine.
that's kind of why we were assuming that
Yeah,
it might be Jasmine due to a race, but you don't know. Zoe could have got with another person as well, so
the
it
simple fact
could be
is
Jasmine.
we have no idea, and I feel like
No,
we're a while away from knowing. I feel like they're going to
or
drag this
it's
out till
just
Christmas
Zoe.
now.
Maybe it's just Zoe doing it all to herself for all we know.
See, I would have believed that if we hadn't have had that scene this week where we saw her upstairs and she
Mm.
sort of went mad at one of the twins, but we saw how
Yeah,
scared she was at that moment, and we saw that
mm.
she is sort of like
Yeah, but
she believes what she's saying, whether it's going on with her mental health or
I
not.
was
She
going to
does
say
believe.
if you're actually in the psychosis, though, which is what they're trying to say that she might be, then she would believe it anyway and
Yeah,
be that scared. Alfie again, though, another one. If Alfie transpires to be the father of her
I don't think that is
twins.
now. I don't think it is now because I feel like Alfie would be trying to get rid of Zoe by now if he even suspected that was what
That's
was going on.
true, and he's
And
actually
he's
trying
actually
to do
being
the
very
opposite.
supportive. Yeah, he's actually
Yeah,
being
but
quite
then is that
supportive.
why though as well though, or is he being supportive because he don't want Zoe to say something? You could argue.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's Alfie at this point. I
I
really
hope it's not
don't.
Alfie.
So do I, but I feel like we haven't been
Mm,
led, or I don't feel like we've even been given any clues as to that it might be Alfie. And it would go against everything that Alfie's actually been doing up to
mm.
this point for it to be him as well. Now, yes,
Yeah,
you could argue he doesn't know, but at the same time, you would think that Alfie, at some point, sort of alone, would have tried to do the maths in his head and sort of gone, "Could it be me? Maybe
mm,
if there's even the
yeah,
slightest chance that it's me, I need to get rid of her now."
yeah.
And he
Fair.
hasn't done that, so
Fingers crossed. It's definitely not him then.
fingers crossed. But this sort of plods on, and we'll sort of
Hmm.
see where it goes next week and the week after. And yeah, and this cat needs to sort of stay safe as well because I
Oh,
can't.
Minnie Mo.
Minnie
I feel
Mo,
like I feel like Minnie Mo is a symbol of us trying to see that actually Zoe is a caring person because we've had all of her
mm.
anger and the way that she's been acting, and
Yeah.
loads of people, we've all been saying like, can't stand Zoe. This is supposed to make us, feel
But she's a cat
endearing
person.
towards her. Yeah, but it's supposed to show, oh, she is a caring person. She does care about
Yeah.
things. She can be kind.
She
Look
can
at
be
how
nice
much she
to a
loves for the
cat.
cat.
She loves the cat.
And then the cat's also a symbol of obviously her missing child. And yeah.
But if the cat goes missing one more time, I swear to God.
Did you not think it's? I feel like the cat was Anthony, though. Anthony, even if it. Anthony, what?
Why though? This is the thing. Why? I don't get why
Because
Anthony would do
I
it.
feel like he does still have massive feelings for Zoe, and I feel like he just kind of maybe wanted to go searching for the cat with her, and he
Oh, I
felt like it
see.
were a
Yeah.
bonding moment. So
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
get rid of the cat
Well,
just
I
so
mean,
that he
he
could
did
do
try to
that.
kiss. He did try to kiss her, so he obviously still
Yeah,
does have feelings for
yeah,
Zoe.
yeah.
But everything else doesn't kind of gel with that,
I
does
know
it?
what you're saying, yeah. But I just wondered if maybe it's that he did the cat thing, she did the photos, but everything
Yeah,
else was somebody else, maybe.
maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I bet they're going to drag this out till Christmas now, aren't they? Because we're in November
Probably.
now, so they may as well now.
Okay.
But then, how does Max come back into this as well?
This is true. Where does Max fit into it?
I
Or is
feel
it
like they're waiting for Linda to come back to sort of bring Max back.
true? That would make sense as
And
well,
God,
wouldn't
and
it?
Linda's on a cruise to Saturn at this point with the amount of time that she's been gone. You know what I mean? Like, God knows where she is.
And what about her kids? Like, is she classed
Yeah,
them as homeschooling? There's all these rules, these days
you
about
know all
it. So
about them, don't
I
you,
do
Ree?
know
You know
about
all
these
about
rules,
them.
yeah.
Social services are always banging on your door, telling the rules with all the
Oh,
drunkenness
God,
that is
don't
reported,
joke
aren't
about
you?
that. That's what annoyed me most about it. He knows it's a sore point. He knows that I was like panicking, that like, oh my God, I'm going to get accused of this,
Yeah.
that, and other.
We had images of social services banging on her door because she
No, I
appeared to be
did.
pissed on a
Well, do
podcast.
you know what? Actually, there were a couple of people who had my back and
Yeah, there you
mentioned
go.
that. So
You
thank
see,
you for
there you
that
go.
because
There
it's
you
much
go.
appreciated. Anyway,
There we are then. Right, let's move on now. Before we talk about Harry, let's have a
yes.
brief little discussion about Julie, Phil, and Nigel. Right, brief little discussion about Nigel. He's not going to prison, surely to God, right?
No,
He can't.
he's not good. Of course,
No
he's
court
not
in the
going to
land
prison.
is no court in the land is sending Nigel to prison for this, right?
Absolutely not. You just take one look at him and go,
Yeah.
oh, no,
Like
you're
this
all
is a
right.
guy that's really far into dementia,
Mm.
and both Gina and Jasmine, especially Jasmine, have no interest in this going any further. Gina's forgiven him,
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like this is
I
fine.
don't.
This is
I
going to be
don't think.
okay.
I don't even think that it matter if they did or didn't anyway. It's about him breaking the law. But I feel like even if he went into the court and were like, you need to lock me up and throw away the key, they'd
Yeah,
have one conversation with him and be like, it
yeah,
don't matter. It don't
yeah. I mean,
matter.
he was in the like he went to where was he? He was sort of either in the doctors or talking to somebody about the case, wasn't he? And he was convinced he was
Yeah,
16 years old.
it was like getting a professional medical opinion about the
Yes,
court case, weren't it?
yeah,
Somebody like a third party who was
yeah.
assessing him medically.
And they
And
were
he thought he
convinced.
was 16 when he was
Yeah,
there, didn't
yeah. So
he?
I'm too young to even have a license.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
my
Bless
excuse.
him.
That's why I haven't got a license yet. I tell you. Um, so, but Phil's back this week. Nice to see Phil
Yes,
back.
very
Marvelous.
nice. Yeah,
And he finds
perfect.
out what exactly has been going on in his absence and starts to blame Julie.
Has a
And
right
then
go at her.
he does have a
Poor
right go at her.
Julie.
I know, and see now. But then Jack sort of tells him what went on, and he
Yeah,
sort of goes back to Julie on his knees and apologizes.
yeah.
I still think
Oh,
we're on
give
track.
over.
I
Hey,
still
do you
think
know
we're on
what?
track for it.
Do you know
I
what?
really
Were it
do.
last week or week before? I half wondered, will it be George and Julie, not Phil and Julie? Please, I don't want Phil and Julie. Just don't. If
I
you're
think it's going to
listening, don't
happen.
do it. Don't do it. Don't
When
do
do they
Phil and
ever?
Julie.
When have they ever listened to us three? Why would
Oh,
they
listen
listen?
now.
Why would they listen to some pisshead on a podcast?
Fair. Why would you?
Why
Fair.
would you?
Hey.
Why would you? I think it's going to happen, and I think this is going to be what keeps Julie around as well. I feel like if that's what needs to happen in order to keep Julie around, I don't mind it.
Nah, maybe a one night stand. Oh
You
no, I
want
really
Julie
just
you
don't
want
want
Julie
it.
to stay, right? You
Yeah,
want
not
Julie
with
to stay
Phil.
around.
She can have her own life. I'd rather her get with Jean than Phil or something.
You'd
I
rather
don't
her get
know.
with Jean. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fan base waiting to happen, isn't it?
Right.
Julie and Jean. Yeah, there you
See?
go.
There
There
we
you go.
go.
Yeah,
Writes itself,
lesbianism in
doesn't
older
it?
life. Why the hell
See?
not? There
There
you
you
go.
go.
There you go. But Phil's going to get Richie on the case, which I don't
Yeah.
mind. If we see
So
Richie, always like to
again,
see Richie.
Again, that's it. Nigel's not
Fine.
going down. He's got
Of
Richie
course
there
he's
as
not.
well.
Of
He'll
course
be
he's not.
fine.
Richie's never failed yet.
However, the only thing that I do wonder could happen, would they then deem him to be a danger to society because of his dementia and say he needs
Well, I
full-time
feel
care
like,
or a care home
yeah, I
facility or
mean,
something?
I feel like the thing that would happen, whether that
Mm,
is what is going to happen, I feel like it's two
yeah,
separate things because it's a
yeah,
soap. But I feel like there is a sign that would say, right, well, we need to go and send some people around to assess your living environments,
yeah,
right? And then
yeah.
we will just make a decision from there as to whether you're safe to sort of remain here for your own
Yeah,
good, for your
in
own
the
safety.
community they refer it to.
Well,
Yeah.
even within his own safety, you know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, if he, at the end of the day, he could have killed himself in that car, couldn't
mm,
he? So it's more to do with like everyone's fine in the situation at the moment, but it's more to do with, is Nigel actually okay to be living there? Is it safe for him to be living there,
mm.
or is it safer for him to be going taken away and looked after somewhere else?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if that could be what ends up happening from it.
Yeah. Which,
Realistic
and
though.
you know, and
Mm.
what might happen there is the fact that Phil and Julie will have to pretend that they're together to give the suggestion of a stable home environment, and then they'll end up getting together for real.
No, they wouldn't. Give over. Stop it now. Stop putting it out there. It's not
Telling
going to
you, Ree,
happen.
telling you, Ree.
No.
It's my
Oh.
observation is what I think that's what's going to happen.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be
We shall
right.
see. Well, I mean, let us know in the comments. What do you think, Phil and Julie? Can you see it happening?
And are
Can
you
you?
here for it? Do you
I can
want
see
it
it
to happen?
happening. I
Do
don't
you want
care
it to
if
happen?
I just want Julie to stay around post Nigel, and if that's what has to happen in order to make that happen, then I'm fine
I
with
feel
that.
like she could stay anyway, though. I feel like she's already
But where's she going to live after
forming a
Nigel's?
friendship with Jean.
Yeah, but where's she going to live after
She
Nigel's died?
Well, she's already got a job at Walford High, so
Yeah.
it's not like she can't. It's not
So
like
what?
she's not stable financially down south. She could just get a flat or
Don't get me wrong, I love Friends on the Square, and if Phil
yeah,
and Julie became like the best of mates, I'd love that
yeah,
as well. But I
yeah.
feel like there has to be something, certainly living arrangement wise, to keep Julie
Mm.
in the Square. And because I want Julie to stay, if that's what needs to happen in order to make Julie stay on the Square, then I guess I'm fine with it.
Maybe she will just get. She's started tutoring Lily. Maybe she'll develop
Yeah.
like relationships with the kids at Walford. Maybe
She
and
is Mother of the Square material, in my
yeah, no, I
opinion.
agree. Like
Not
literally
like
within a week,
not
my
like the
mind
new Kathy or
changed.
anything like that, but she's
Yeah, no,
certainly
I know
got
what you're
that sort of
saying.
maternal, almost a new Pam sort of
Yeah,
vibe about
yeah,
her. I think that she could do for sure.
yeah. So she can
Our
stay
tea.
without Phil, without getting with Phil. It's
There are
fine.
many cups of tea that left to consume that Julie needs to. She drinks tea all the time, does Julie? Doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's always got tea, and I have to
Always got a
approve of
pot
that.
on. Hmm.
Yes, I have to approve of that. So there we go.
Mm.
Right, let's move on to the last story. This is Harry, and he is young, free, and apparently now single. So, final storyline of the week. It's the Harry and Kojo stuff, and like I say, we've had movement. Things have happened. They're free, and now the police are after the right people, and everything. It's gone
Yes.
well.
Yeah, thank
Hurrah!
God for that. God.
I
Get
mean,
on with
if
it.
if there was any moment where I thought, right, Okie needs to die, it was when he destroyed Kojo's taxi.
What were we thinking, dude? I'm sorry, that was next level. Forget
Unnecessary.
everything else that he's done. That was
Unnecessary.
personal.
Yeah.
However, do you know what I did think when I watched that scene? If somebody was watching EastEnders,
Had
right, they
no
turned it
context.
no context at all for that scene, they'd be like, what?
Why is he destroying a taxi? And
Why
this
is
feels
that a
like a
big
big
deal? It's
moment.
just, yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah,
but I think it's
awful.
that sort of makes Kojo decide, right, that's it. I need to sort this out.
Maybe, actually, to be
Could
fair,
have been.
yeah.
Could
Yeah,
have
it could have
been.
been.
So because obviously Harry has been chained to the bed for all this time, not looking well,
Oh,
because they've been pumping him through. Was it say they're
pumping him with
pumping him through with
heroin.
heroin?
Yeah,
Heroin, actual heroin.
yeah,
You know all about that.
apparently. Never going to live it down, are we, next week? Jesus.
So yeah,
Yeah,
he basically when he's got the flat, just Kojo
yeah,
and Harry alone, which in
yeah.
itself is sort of like, you know that Kojo is against all of this, what you're doing. You know he's scared, and you're going to leave those two alone in the flat. Like, there's absolutely no chance that Kojo might try and help Harry to escape, right?
This hasn't made sense all along for me,
Since the
though, that he's
start.
been, yeah. Well, the Okie's just been like, oh, Kojo will be too scared to leave, even though he saw him try to go to the minute mark that
Yeah.
time. Like, he could have escaped all this time then, surely. Or are we led to believe that it was quite rare that they were left on their own in the flat?
They have been left on their own quite a bit, though, haven't they?
It looks like it to
It's
us.
what seems to happen is that it's either full of people sort of packing drugs,
Yeah, yeah.
or it's
Or
just them in the
empty.
flat. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I mean, I guess maybe the fact that Harry's been unable to speak, otherwise he would have normally have said, like, Kojo, go.
yeah.
Like, just go now. Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
finally, what's happened is that Teddy has returned because Teddy went off to Wales to look for them.
Oh, he went to Cardiff.
Went to Cardiff. He has looked at every crook and cranny of Cardiff and
How
Wales
would you
everywhere.
how would you even
Where
start
would you even
anyway?
begin?
Sorry.
Where would you even begin? Like going around
What
with
do
a
you
picture
do?
to every single
Yeah.
Welsh person.
Every
Have you seen this?
hotel in
Oh,
Cardiff.
I haven't seen them actually, boy. Oh no, I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, I've not.
I've not
Are
seen
they
them. I'm
missing, are
sorry.
they?
Oh,
Oh, you start going a bit West Country then,
yeah,
Robert.
no, my accents have never been that great. But anyway, so Teddy returns and
Yeah.
basically gets everybody involved. Says, right, they're not in Wales. I would know if they were in Wales because I definitely would have found them.
Been to
So
all of Wales.
I have looked in all of Wales and they are
Hmm.
not there. So he basically kind of gets George involved, tells him
Yeah.
exactly what's been going on at last.
Finally.
Finally,
Finally.
Junior was involved in it all as well
Yeah, nice to see Junior involved,
before he
but
goes,
yeah, just like to fulfill
which
his
I think is
contractual
quite.
hours for the week, I think
Well,
it
I think
was.
it's quite soon that Junior's going as well. By the way,
It's just annoying. There's
it's a
so much
shame.
potential for him.
It's a
Yeah.
shame. It's a shame. And so finally, they decide to bring the police
Yeah.
just as Kojo unchains Harry. And
Yes.
then Harry falls over, and then Okie comes home. So Kojo makes a run for it just as the police sort of arrive on the square, and it's all quite chaotic.
Mm.
Sirens going off everywhere. Okie and his mates are trying to bundle Harry into a van at that moment.
A lot happened in
A lot
about two
happened.
minutes, didn't it?
It's in 2
Kojo ran out
minutes.
and escaped.
Yeah,
Oakie'd come back, realised his escape,
yeah,
rang his lads, said,
yeah,
get the van,
yeah.
and like, I need 4 of you now, like two
Now,
minutes ago,
yeah,
actually, if
yeah.
anything.
To be
So God
honest,
knows where they were with that van.
yeah,
And
just
then
round the
Kojo
corner.
goes, then they come back, and then
Yeah,
that happened like,
a lot. It was a
yeah,
lot.
a lot. But
Um,
did you think he was going to go to Shenanigans Warehouse? I was like, here
I
we
was honest.
go,
I was
carrying
convinced. Yeah,
on.
I was convinced that was
Yeah.
where it was going because I think there was because otherwise, what's the point in talking about this warehouse in the first place that Ravi mentioned to him? Because I thought that
I
was the
did
whole
wonder.
point.
Well, I wondered this, but now I think it's going to be
What do you think the
imperative.
warehouse is coming
Yeah,
into play later?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Because obviously,
How?
well, what later transpires with the deal that Ravi may
Oh
or may not
yes,
take. There's
that's
time yet
true.
in there.
That's true. Yeah.
Hmm.
So Kojo is free. Harry is free. Harry is taken to hospital, and all is basically okay in terms of their freedom. Harry.
Yeah,
Nicola
for now.
returns this week. We've had no idea where Nicola's been.
That's so true. Where has she even
Well, this
been?
is the thing. This is what I said a couple of weeks ago. Like the only reason Nicola isn't there is because this wouldn't be happening if Nicola was there. But
Yeah,
they
of
gave
course.
absolutely no reason
No.
as to why Nicola had gone away, where she was. The
Did she
most
go
we
see her
got out.
sister?
No, the most we
She,
got out of it was Teddy turning around at one point and saying, "God knows where Nicola is." So that was it.
yeah, they could. All they literally needed to say is she went to see her
Done for
sister.
his
They've done
sister.
that a
Yeah.
couple of times, haven't they?
Yeah,
Now.
that's all they needed, but they
Mm,
didn't do that. There we go. And so, what happens now is that Nicola is sort of trying to appeal to George's good nature because it's basically in George's hands as to how arrested Harry finds himself at the end of this, right?
yeah, definitely. But
Now,
so yeah, go on.
well, my thinking is like, how arrested could Harry be for this, really? Because he's been held hostage and pumped up with heroin. So there comes a point where the police have got to go, do you know what, mate? It's probably not all your fault, Liz.
Yeah, that part isn't, but it was still drug dealing before. When that comes out and that Harry's not classed as a vulnerable person like Kojo.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't know because is that a thing? Then you can just be like, well, I got threatened,
I
and
mean, it helps. It helps, right? Especially
mm,
if you then start naming people that the police are aware of in this sort of
true.
field, which Harry then does. Harry basically spills on everybody
Yeah,
involved. I was so
mm,
pleased that he did that as well. For
yeah,
some reason,
I
there
was.
was half of
Yeah,
me that kind of thought he was just going to keep quiet and it was going to keep going from there. But he
mm.
actually turns around and goes, "No, it was Ravi. It was
Yeah, I
Okie."
even gave Ravi's name. I weren't
Yeah, I
expecting
was
that, to be
surprised he gave Ravi's
honest.
name. I was surprised he
Yeah,
gave
I
Ravi's
thought we
name.
were just going to give Erky's name, but yeah, he went
Yeah,
large.
and what was interesting was that Ravi kind of realizes quite quickly, oh, the shit's about to hit the fan, big style,
Mhm.
because the police are all around. I know who's been in that flat. He has a
Yeah.
conversation with Okie. He basically goes, what? have you been doing?
Yeah.
Why was he held hostage all this time? And Okie's just like, oh, Okie doesn't even really give him a reason. It was just sort of like, thought that's what you wanted.
But lols, isn't it?
Just for shits and gigs,
Why
really, to be
not?
honest with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And Ravi says, right, you're on your own. See you later. Because Okie was sat there like, can you at least give me some money to sort of run away from? You'd be like, no, of course I
Are you
can't.
joking? Yeah, innit?
Like, ridiculous. So,
And
yeah,
then
then,
Ravi goes and packs his bags, doesn't he?
oh,
Because
he's
then he's
all,
like,
yeah,
oh, yeah,
he's
I'm tied up in
fully
all this.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's fully prepared to make a run for it, but just before he can, see, if he hadn't spent time in the living room snogging Priya, he'd have been gone
He
and
might have been able
safe.
to just escape,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so he gets arrested for a multitude of things, including human trafficking.
Yeah, because I think I was confused by that, but is that not what they were implying that Kojo was? She using him
Is that
for
is that
human
what cuckoo
trafficking?
is that what cuckooing falls under? Human trafficking.
I don't know. Well, because you always think human trafficking means trafficking a human, but
You know
I
what
wondered
Ben
in
did?
that
that
yeah, but
that was human trafficking.
in this context of the, mind you, I guess they are human trafficking when you think
Yeah,
about it. Actually,
yeah, because they were
he was
sending him.
going
They
against
were
his
sending him
will to
off. Yeah,
places.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
All right, fair, fair,
yeah.
fair. And so Ravi is arrested, and he kind of says, right, because they want the big boss's name, don't they?
Yeah.
That's who they're after,
Don't
really.
we all, eh?
Don't we all want the big boss's name? Do you think it's going to be someone we know, the big
It's not
boss?
going to be Max or someone. Vincent, I don't know why I got Vincent
You
in my
keep
head.
thinking Vincent, don't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or Sam.
Oh,
See, I,
Sam.
see, the thing is with Sam though, she's a bit crap at being a gangster. With that was
That's
established the
true.
last time she was there, wasn't it? So I
Very
don't know.
true.
I don't think that Sam could have managed to get her way up to the top of the drug ring. In all honesty, she's no Nicola.
She's not. Well, we're just thinking though that it'd be some amazing beef
Yeah.
between her and Nicola and all the
Oh
Mitchells, and
yeah.
the fact that they're
Well,
actually somewhat related.
I
And
feel if and when Sam were to return to the square, there's going to be beef between her and Nicola anyway, because
yeah,
of the fact that
definitely.
Nicola now owns the club. So
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
there is
was
that. Watch
Peggy's
this.
now. Yeah.
Watch this space for a potential Sam return, ladies and
Mm.
gents. And so yeah, basically, Ravi does a deal with the police. Says, "Yeah, I'll give you all of the names if you let me go." And so then the policewoman goes and speaks to her boss, and he goes, "Yep, that's fine, but we want you to be an informant."
Did they actually
Does
do
this happen?
this?
Does this happen in real
I was
life?
thinking that. Do you know what? There's so many illogical parts of this
I mean, look.
storyline. Why not, eh? You
Well, I
know?
mean, what I
But
would
it is
say
annoying
is,
actually at this point.
well, what I would say is this whole sort of like, yeah, we'll do this for you if you do this for us thing. In fairness, that's a thing that happens in a lot of TV drama, right? It's not just
Yeah.
EastEnders. So
Yeah.
to the point where I'm sort of like, does this happen? Informants are definitely a thing, right?
Yeah, but isn't that when they're actually in it? Not like they're almost asking Ravi to go undercover, and it's like, how
Yeah.
do you know that he's capable of going undercover? Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
Cable tried to make Phil do this as well, didn't she?
Oh yeah,
So I feel like it's, I mean, because we are sweet, innocent people who don't go in, well, you do, but I don't go into this sort of world whatsoever. And
why? Yeah, last week. Yeah,
last week. Reed, by the way, is in charge of all of Turkey's drugs. That's how it all works. So,
that was a joke, by
that
the
was a
way. Just to
joke.
clarify, Jesus, Rob, you are going to end up getting me in
God, you
actual
can't
trouble
say
here.
out these days.
Can't say out, can you? Can't say out. Yeah.
What was I saying? So,
Is
I
this a
feel
thing?
this is a
Is
thing.
Ravi able to do
I
this?
feel like it
Really?
is probably a thing, but I reckon there's probably a bit of dramatic sort of flourish on this as a story. Because let's be real,
Yes.
the police wanted Ravi anyway for stuff, didn't they? So I feel like would they let Ravi go when they've got him where they want him? Because if I was a policeman, what I would do is say, yeah, you could do that. That's fine. We'll let you go. I promise. Fingers crossed under the table, and then still arrest Ravi at the end of it. Is what I would do if I was a policeman.
Or maybe, yeah, but I don't think they can do that. They're like, it straight away, like, I want it all in writing before I agree to anything.
But does that work? Can a drug dealer take the police to court and sue them for going against something that they apparently wrote in a written contract that they could be an informant, and then they went back on the deal that they made? I don't think that's a thing.
I don't know. I reckon, I don't know that bit. I actually wonder if it would be, to be fair. I don't know.
Surely not. A criminal.
I feel like it's almost like they think, right, we get the big guys, we get a promotion, it looks good for us. It's better to risk somebody like Ravi, who's a criminal, than one of our own going undercover. And maybe that's the thinking behind it. But whether this does happen in real life, I really don't.
I don't know.
How would we know? I
If
guess.
you are a policeman or indeed an informant, let us
Or
know.
undercover.
Or undercover currently. Let us know what happens. Yeah, let us know in the comment section. So that's all going on. Harry's grassed everybody up. Is that going to come back and bite him on the arse?
I did wonder this straight away.
I feel like it will,
You'd
won't
think, yeah, you'd think. But then again, I guess it depends if Okie and Kerr will get arrested straight away.
Well,
Does he know everyone's
what's going to
names?
happen with Okie, do we think?
Well, surely he's just going to go down now. Is that? Well, this is it. I don't know. Is this the end of Okie, or
I don't know.
are
I
they...
feel like Okie's got one more mad act in him before he.
True. Yeah, it won't feel like quite closure enough for
No,
Okie, would it? If we just went, oh, he's just been arrested and
no.
down.
He feels
done.
like he needs to have like an ultimate sort of comeuppance, doesn't it, for
Yeah.
Okie before his part in this story is finished. So I feel like that might happen over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, all of that's going on. Meanwhile, Nicola, as we have said, is back this week, and she's sort of trying to get round George and try and persuade him that this is not in his best interest to sort of, get Harry arrested and sent down because of everything that's going on with Kojo. And we are privy to a moment at the end of the week where Nicola has taken a pregnancy test, and the two little lines tell us that she is up the duff.
Oh, the duff. Yeah, it's George's, right? That's the
I was going to ask
this.
There's no way that it could be
else.
Teddy's or anything, is there?
I did wonder that. No, I feel like it is just George's.
It must be George's, right? But then, would she not have brought this up to George sooner? By the way, I'm pregnant with your kids, so do you really want to send my son to prison?
Well, no, but I think that's why. I think she's trying
just discovered.
No, I think she's trying to get George to be, what's the word, like be kind to her for her rather than because he's discovered that she's pregnant. She wants it to be see, I feel like she caught feelings for George really quickly. Like they felt like they had a very genuine bond, didn't they? And connection.
Yeah, because when George was trying to sort of like back off it a little bit, she was actually quite upset about it, wasn't she?
Yeah. Whereas like we've seen her have, didn't she have that hook up with Jack, didn't she, a while ago? So we could. This is what I mean. So it's not like she does it with everybody. I feel like her and George. I feel like she genuinely.
Plus, I want the whole Cindy and Nicola rivalry to continue as well. So I don't mind this. I don't mind this. This is okay. I'm fine with this, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of pregnancies as a whole, just because what tends to happen is that when a kid is born, that really limits the character in terms of like, we're always like, well, where's the kid? Where's the baby? And it sort of really kind of.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. But it's more for the storyline than thinking of the longevity of it.
Yeah, in this case, I don't really mind it because there's potential stories to be taken out of this. There's potential feuds. There's interesting stuff that can be garnered from it. So that's fine. So is she gonna? I mean, it is definitely George's. I feel like it can't be anybody else's, can it? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels. Yeah, definitely right. Because unless she's got with someone wherever, we don't know where she's been. What she's been up to.
Well, it could have been anybody's, but she's very, very pregnant because she's got 2 lines on the test, 2 very clear lines, by the way, as well. So that's definitely like there's
no mistaking.
If they're clear, then you're definitely
exactly.
Positive.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So there we are then. So actual movement with all this stuff this week. We've had some stories that have actually pulled up some interesting little threads that might be fun to unravel in weeks going on. The Zoe stuff kind of just keeps trotting along until they're ready to tell us information, it feels like at this point. Right?
Yeah, I feel like they just need to, I don't know, this stalker or not stalker stuff. I feel like that needs to hurry up a bit, even though, like you say, it might go on to Christmas.
Yeah, there is a side of me that thinks that there's something that they're waiting to happen in terms of someone coming back, whether that be Linda or Sharon or something like that. And so there's almost a side of me that kind of wonders if the stalker stuff's kind of been brought into it to sort of kind of paper over something that should be going on as well. Because
maybe,
the whole kid thing feels like we should be further along with it by now, because it feels like Kat would literally have said, can you just tell me who the bloody dad of this kid is, please? Or someone would have said that. It feels like we should know at least that by now. But now it feels like they're holding off that information until Christmas.
Yeah, and then we're going to have the reveal of who the... Yeah.
We shall see. Gold star this week, Ray.
Norma.
Hated
her, but I loved her. Norma, 100%.
Fair enough. I'm going to give mine to Harry, I think, this week.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
There we go. Then.
Yes,
So Norma and Harry for the gold stars this week. Let us know who your gold stars are going to, and we should finish as usual with some comments from you.
We've got a comment here from Megan Brooke who says, I loved that the first thing we saw of Eve's mum was her arm and the handbag coming through the door. I don't want to be on Norma's side, but I was thinking about that scene with her and Eve in the kitchen and how after Eve disappeared the whole night. I definitely think if Eve and Suki are still going forward with the adoption, maybe Eve should have some therapy to talk about her past and her relationship with her own parents. Love the podcast. Love that.
Thank you very much, Megan.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly something that's still very heavily in Eve's life, isn't it? This whole thing with her sister.
Trigger.
Yes, it is a trigger, and I feel like it is something that has really sort of put her on a certain path in life. It feels like everything that we knew about Eve, how she ended up in prison, and the fact that her kind of go-to sort of panic button is to sort of just go on a night out or just go and get absolutely hammered somewhere or run off to Brighton. So it'll be interesting to sort of see that addressed in future mums. I hope that Norma's return into her life is sort of like has started to explore that a little bit.
Do you think that if Eve had the responsibility, though, of her child, like if they do go through with the adoption fully, do you think that then she'd go, well, I can't run off and do that because I've got this responsibility? I feel like it'd stop her from doing it. I feel like she wouldn't do that and that she'd be quite responsible.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to envisage if her and Suki had an argument, would she think, oh, well, Suki's home and looking after him, I'm going to go off still? I don't know.
I wonder if, depending on how old this kid that they end up having is, I wonder if something similar might have happened to the kid. And
Interesting, yeah.
And so that there's some sort of interplay there where Eve can sort of address her own issues whilst trying to sort out this kid's problems.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Maybe. Charlie Edge has said, I didn't expect to love Eve's mum, but she was brilliant. Reminded me of Brenda, Debbie's mum. I've watched The L Word, had me howling. I really hope that Suki and Eve do go through with the adoption. It would be lovely to show later life lesbians going through the adoption process and also delve into adopting older kids. I'm sure there'll be a few spanners in the works, but before we get there, but I do hope we do get there. Later life lesbians. Like that. Yeah. Later life lesbians. Yeah, it's... I do see the similarities between Brenda and Norma for a start.
Yes, definitely.
They could have been played by the same actress, essentially, couldn't they?
100%, yeah, definitely. Yeah, this 100%. Is why I want to see Norma back again, but
yes,
we'll see.
Yeah, and I want to sort of maybe also explore the similarities between Norma and Suki as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, like we said last week, they do say that you go to someone that's quite similar to a parent, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Even if you're a later life lesbian, you do that.
Apparently so.
Yeah, there you go.
We've got a comment here from Gary Christie who says, Paul died not long after Zoe left in 2004, 2005. What if they met off screen after this? The timeframes work out and it would explain why they brought Anthony back. Is Nicola's baby definitely George's? Didn't she bed Teddy and George in quick succession?
See, I wondered this. Is there a chance it could just be Teddy's?
I guess that there is, but... Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I don't feel like, because obviously all the thing came out about Barney, so I don't feel like they have slept together recently anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't think they have, and I feel like it can only be George's because she only started sleeping with George when her and Teddy had broken up again, didn't they? So
I think that's it. I think it is just George's. That is what we're supposed to assume.
With regards to Paul, I mean, I think it's a possibility, is what I would say. I don't feel like we should throw all out. We shouldn't be adamant about it, Ree. Put it like that.
We should not be adamant.
Not be adamant.
They did bring Paul up a few times as well recently, and we commented on that a couple of weeks ago. So I wouldn't be that surprised.
He has been mentioned more than he has ever been. So it's
or
a
is
possibility.
That just because they're calling back to the past and reminding us about Anthony as well.
And you would mention him, wouldn't you? Now you've got Anthony back on screen again and Patrick on screen and them together. You would mention Paul, right? What I love is that there's never any mention of Isaac.
Actually, no, I feel like they did very vaguely.
I don't think they did.
Him, like once recently, but like really briefly. But that seems to have gone out the window.
I don't think Isaac's a thing anymore. Quite frankly, no, I feel like if we were to have a scene where Patrick was to list his children, I think he might forget Isaac. In all honesty,
and I think we'd all forget him. We'd be like, that's all his children listed.
That's all his kids. That's all he's got. And finally, Kathy Vernon Kettner has said Harry and Kojo's friendship is so heartwarming. Now that this storyline is moving along, I hope Gina and Harry can get back together. Gina's reaction to Harry back this week, right when she turned around and was like, "You might have ghosted me, me. That's fine. It's like, hang on a minute, Gina. He never
didn't
ghosted
ghost
you.
you.
He was under the influence of heroin and was being kept hostage in a flat.
Yeah, he was being
He
kept
was not
hostage. You weren't
ghosting you.
ghosting. Yeah,
He was
no,
not
that is so
ghosting you at
true.
all.
Yeah.
So let's hold back on those accusations for a sweet second, lady.
Well, people like throwing accusations around,
Oh,
Rob. Don't you know
they
this by
do.
now?
No, well, not to me, they don't.
But in fairness, I think the point she was making was, you can do what you want to me, but Kojo,
Kojo.
shame on you.
How much of what happened to Kojo can you actually blame at Harry's door, would you say?
He could have 100% have spoke out sooner about what was
Yeah.
going on instead of letting it get this far. I know that Harry was somewhat endangered as well, and we're led to believe that we're led to believe that everything he did was to try and keep Kojo safe.
Yeah.
Well, that failed miserably. So actually, yeah, you should have just spoke up sooner.
He should. I feel like Gina needs to sort of chill out a little bit with the accusations though, because
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but you would be so annoyed. Like, that's her uncle, isn't it? Like, this vulnerable adult, and her saying,
but Kojo
even
is.
though she knows that the friendship's genuine though, and I feel like deep down she knows Harry's nature, but it's all very fresh, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there is time.
I agree that Kojo's and Harry's friendship is just so pure and lovely to watch on screen,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is.
Because
Yeah.
the way that Kojo was so relieved to see Harry out of hospital, like ran to hug him and everything like that, it's just like, do you know what? Actually, try and tear those two apart, George. Do what you can to try and tear that apart because it's not going to work. Trust me.
No.
Like,
and Kojo's still, he wants his independence. You can't stop him being friends with someone. It wasn't Harry didn't do those things to Kojo, though. I think that's what's important to remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't Harry doing that to Kojo. He did get wrapped up in it. And yeah, he didn't go about things the right way, but he was trying to help in the way that he thought was the best way to help.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go then. So that's it for this week, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with us with questions, comments, or accusations of narcotics, you can do the following.
You can find us on Facebook at Albert Square After Dark, on Instagram and Twitter at E20 After Dark. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Albert Square After Dark, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can email us at e20afterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do so by going on buymeacoffee.com/E20afterdark. Or if you'd like to buy me a bottle of wine, you can go on buymeabottle-of-wine.com.
Is that a site? Oh, I'll sign up to that while we're at it. I'll definitely sign up to that. Thank you very much for watching. Are you going to be back in the UK next week, Ree?
I am, yes. I'm
sure?
flying back. Yeah, 100%. The flights are booked for Monday. So I've done just under 2 weeks this time.
That's practically a weekend away for you, isn't it?
Yeah, right. I've hardly been here.
How the other half live. Right, ladies and gents, we will see you same time next week. Until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
See you then. Goodbye.
Bye.